Dr. Earl, how you doing?
No, great. How about you, Pierre?
Fantastic, man. We're going to talk a bunch about credit. We're going to get into a lot of other stuff. But, yeah, let's just get to it, man. So, tell me about yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Dr. Earl Midgette. I grew up in Spartanburg most of my life, went to Dorman High School, graduated, never been to college, single right now, no children, left Spartanburg for about 20 years, just moving back, just serving other people and taking one day at a time.
All right. Well, we will definitely get into a few of them details. Yeah, I've already heard some interesting stuff I want to ask about. But before we get into that, tell me, how did you first get into credit? Tell me your forays into, okay, credit is more than just some number I keep hearing about.
Well, the reason why I got into credit was, number one, my credit score was very low.
Okay.
I messed up my credit years ago. Was never educated on credit.
Okay.
And so I used to pay cash for things, but I found out that cash is queen and credit is king. Credit can get you cash, but
Gotcha.
You can't get credit unless you have good credit. I mean, you can't get cash unless you have good credit.
Okay.
So credit is everything today. Your credit is affects your car insurance. It affects whether you go to college or not. It affects your children. It affects where you live. It affects if you get a home or apartment. It affects sometime today if you get a job. So credit now is king. It's very, very important to have excellent credit. So that's how I got started. I was never educated, got messed up, and I found a solution to that endeavor.
Okay. Could you tell me how you messed your credit up?
Well, yes, Pierre, I messed my credit up because they kept sending me more cards, and I went shopping. I was a consumer, and they sent me another one. And I said, "Well, y'all keep sending me these cards?" And
Gotcha.
I just made the minimum payment. And
Right.
I made the minimum payment. And,
Right.
And so, but after a while, interest started accruing, and then it blew up where I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And Bill Clinton started calling me and things like that, and so I was ashamed, I couldn't pay my bills, or I was paying late, and then just got to the point I just cut out my credit cards and I just put it to the side and just and like I said, I had to pay cash for everything. I had bad credit. It was a shameful
I got you.
situation.
How many cards would you say you had at one time active?
Active cards, probably about 7 or 8. Yeah, and I maxed them out. I maxed them out, and because nobody in my household told me about credit.
Yeah.
I had learned in high school.
And so that's something that still fascinates me, right? Because it's like, all right, look, you've seen what I've done with card 1, 2, 3, and 4.
That's correct.
And so card 5 knows all this and still says, what, you're pre-approved?
That's right, you're pre-approved. They sent me another one, different companies. I'm like, why would y'all do that? I'm already in the hole, but that was my way out. So, I got to the point where I was, robbing Peter to pay Paul, off credit. Then I went on cruises and vacations and on credit. And then I got time to pay, I couldn't pay it. And so that's what got me over my head. And so.
Okay. Knowing now what you know, how many credit cards would you say, like, I mean, obviously you understand how to deal with credit now, right?
Yes, that's
so
correct.
With that being said, if you could talk to your younger self and say, listen, you're about to get into a world of trouble with all of these cards, how many cards would you say, okay, this would be good enough for you?
I would say no more than 3.
Okay.
4, 3 to 4, even if that, maybe 2 can get you by, but 3 is in the middle of the road.
Okay.
Yes, I would say 3. And you don't need all those cards. You don't need a Sears card. You don't need a Bell's card. You don't need a Dillard's card.
Okay.
You might need a Visa, MasterCard, American Express, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe a Discover, but you don't need all those cards. So one card can do everything you need to do.
Nice. Okay. What would you say is the difference between a credit card and a line of credit, because now I've started to hear more about lines of credit, and I'm like, okay, but if you got to follow the same guidelines as having a credit card, you know, I don't know, it's just always something that just I didn't know where to go with that.
Well, that's a good question.
Okay.
A line of credit gives you a balance. So if you got a credit card to mail today, and let's say they give you a $3,000 limit,
Yeah.
then that's your limit. You can't go past that $3,000.
Right.
Some cards come in $1,000 to get you started. See how your
See how you gonna
activity
do.
is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You
Gotcha.
won't go too far. They want to look at your behavior. You see, and so it depends on your discipline. What credit you that makes the whole story.
Okay.
You got to be very disciplined.
Got you. Well, speaking of discipline, was there somebody that finally intervened on your behalf and said, "Okay, look, what was the turning point with you and your credit?"
Well,
Because, you know, like you said, you got 7 cards, them things maxed out,
right.
and you like, all right, I got to get this credit thing together, because, well, at some point or another, you realize that credit is king to cash is queen. But what was the turning point? Was it somebody? Was it you? Like, how did it turn around?
Great question. There was somebody, one of my business partners, that lived in Greenville. She's an older woman. She was in her 60s. She said, "Well, I got a niece that lives in Miami, and she introduced me to credit education."
Yeah.
And I said, and she said, "Dr. Earl, you need to listen to me. You need to listen about this credit." And I said, "I'm pretty knowledgeable." I said, and I was really shameful.
Yeah.
But she says, "You need to sit down and listen to her." And I did. So she gave me a nugget, and she introduced me to another guy
Okay.
out of Georgia.
All right.
And he was the credit expert.
Okay.
He showed me the insides of credit, the game of credit, through Equifax and TransUnion and Experian, and how the lenders work and how the game was played from the inside.
Gotcha.
And he was a master.
Okay.
His credit was bad at one time, and now his credit was excellent. It went
Wow.
up a lot higher. And then he was able to show me his card and how his balance is and how to use credit, no matter what the balance is.
Yeah.
And so he was able to educate me. I was a student and learn from him, sat up under him, and went with him to LA, and I went to Detroit, different places with him. And he just broke it down, and I got fascinated.
Yeah.
And I said, You know what? I got to do this. I got to serve other people. I got to let people know that there is a way out. You know.
Yeah.
Again, cash cannot get you credit, but credit can get you cash.
Right.
And
right.
so once I found that out, I was able to apply the principles that I learned, and then I was able to share with other people. Now I've shared with over hundreds of people across America.
Man, that's fantastic.
That's what I do.
That's fantastic. And it's funny, I connect that to me cutting hair. I had somebody that at a very young age just literally said, "Look, I will help you." Just those few words, "I will help you." And it was the tweak that changed my whole outlook
Awesome.
on teaching cutting hair.